Take a moment, reflect on it, and write in the chat box, in the comments, what are the attainments that you received in the confluence age? Or have you received any? Because now we are in the confluence age, I'm a Brahmin, and I have received attainments from Baba. So please make a list of what are your attainments from Baba. No, I don't want uncountable, I want specific. What is it that you feel you attained from Baba? So whatever you can think of, just write it. And what are the attainments that we received from Baba in Sangam Yug? Whatever list comes to your mind, just make a list of it and write it in the comments. You have to think about what Baba means by it, yes? Because you see that Baba today in the slogan says, remember the attainments of the confluence age and you will not remember things of sorrow or worry. So what is it that you think and feel you have attained which can make you forget the things of sorrow and worry? So you have to write all of that. So I will give you some time and you make a note of it. Everyone, I want you to, whether you have switched on the video, switched off the video, but just write whatever Baba has given you. So whatever you think is your attainment. Everyone, I want all of you to write your answers. So there are so many things that everybody has written and it's all beautiful, very nice. And some have, taken time and again rewritten. And some have not written. So they have lost this opportunity also. Yes, now you see that why I made you do this exercise is because we are all reading the Murli, and we read in the Murli today that Baba is saying that attainments, remember the attainments of confluence age. But did we remember? That's the question. So did we make a list of or bring into my awareness again and again what are the attainments that I received in the confluence age? You see, this remembrance is a very important thing, because even if you have a lot, if you forget, do you have anything? Let's say you have, crores of rupees in your bank account, but you lost your memory, then you will feel like a beggar. So, this staying in the awareness of what you have is a very important thing. And what do we remember, what do we forget is a very important part of life. So, there was this one sister, and she had visited the center some days back, and she's a mata living in a household, and she started telling me that Didi, my life has been very difficult, and she started telling me everything that happened, everything wrong that happened to her right from the time she was born. And in that whole narrative, she told me 1,000 things of sorrow. And then she said, you cannot even understand how sorrowful my life has been and how painful my life has been. But she's in Gyan for the last 4 years. And there was no mention of how life changed after meeting Baba. And then I asked her, so is it the same? So I said, you led a difficult life. Okay, I understand. You are meeting me for the first time. So maybe you wanted to meet, to apprise me of what your life has been. Okay. But is it the same today? So she said, no, it's not the same. There have been changes after I came to Baba. Baba has given me a lot. So I said, why don't you take time and describe to me what you got after you came to Baba? Just take some time, sit down, and just like you described in so much detail about the difficulties you faced before you found Baba, just take some time and explain to me what you received after you came to Baba. And then she said, oh, I received a lot, oh, I received a lot. But she didn't make a count of it. So why wasn't she able to make a count of it? Because we forget. We forget. Every day Baba is giving us so much, and it's not that we are not aware of it. We are fully aware of it. So we are aware of whatever Baba is giving me every second. But the thing is, do I revise it? Because you see, it's important for it to become part of your memory. And whatever you just, experience and let go, that will not become part of your memory. You have to keep it in your awareness. You have to think about it. Yes, so you have to appreciate it. If I don't appreciate what I have got, then even if I have got it, the happiness that is contained in that attainment will not be available to me because it slips away. And I will tell you one incident about this. So there was this one sister, and she had once written actually to Baba. It was a letter to Baba, but of course it was written on my WhatsApp. And then it was written on the WhatsApp, and it was a long letter to Baba, and she had expressed her happiness of how much her life has changed after she came to Baba, what all she learned, what are the points of Gyan she has used in life, and how she has benefited from it, how she now doesn't overthink, doesn't do stuff. Her mind and buddhi have a destination. She's able to, focus on Baba, meditate. She's not into the anxious and overthinking that she used to engage in earlier. All of those things she wrote. And that was when she came into Gyan, and she was a child of Baba of 6 months. Okay, and then after 5 years, she once said that, I feel, so Baba every day says that I'm very fortunate, or, Brahmin children are very fortunate. But Didi, I don't feel so. So I said, why don't you feel so? You used to feel like that, and you've written to me. So she said, I have never written to you that I feel very fortunate coming to Baba. So I said, no, you have written to me. So she said, no, I have absolutely no memory of writing such a letter that I have received so much from Baba. So I said, okay, let me dig that out. And then I took out that letter which she had written 4.5 years back, and I gave it to her, and I told her, just look at this. You are the same person who was so full of gratitude and happiness about having found Baba, and you had attained so much from Baba, and look at you, 5 years down the line, you've forgotten everything. And then she read that letter, and she was reminded of those days, and she cried her heart out. And she said, Didi, I want that. So Baba says, Bachpan ke din bhula na dena. Yes, don't forget the days of your childhood. So she says, Didi, in this case, I feel like I want those childhood days back when I just came to Baba, and Baba had filled me with so much, and I really had no memory of this letter. I had no memory of whatever I wrote in this letter. So you see this memory. Why do we forget? Why do we forget everything that we have from Baba? Because we never express gratitude, we never recall it, we never remember it. So we take it and take it for granted. Why do you not appreciate something? You stop appreciating something when you take it for granted. And we have taken Baba for granted in our lives. Yes, and that is why, sometimes when this kind of a task is given, okay, I will recall something, or maybe, I'll even write something so that it looks good on paper. Even if I don't have an experience of it, or I'm not feeling it right now, but maybe just to look good on paper also I'll write it. But Baba says, if you kept recalling what you got from Baba, then what will happen? That sense of, fullness. So, there is, Baba has given us a rule. So, there is aprapti, asantushtata, and aprasannata. There is first this sense that I have not attained anything, aprapti. So that emptiness, that hollowness, that I don't have enough. And from that comes asantushta, discontentment. And then from that your happiness is lost. So a discontented soul is not happy. But that discontentment comes from this feeling I don't have enough. And let me tell you that nobody in the world can shift you, nobody and nothing in the world can shift you from this feeling I don't have enough to I have more than enough, except Baba. Because whenever the attainment is temporary, the attainment is physical. If it is physical, it is temporary. Okay, so whenever the attainment is temporary, it is physical, then it brings more fear and uncertainty and anxiety rather than, this feeling that I have it all. It doesn't give you security. Any physical attainment in the world cannot give you an experience of security and fullness. That sense of attainment and that sense of fullness only comes from what Baba gives you, the permanent attainments, those which are not subject to the vagaries of time. They are only subject to, your remembrance of them. So Baba says, and in the world there is a very good saying, count your blessings. They say count your blessings. And then I have seen people, teaching others to count their blessings, and in that they say, I have a roof over my head, and that's a blessing. I have water running in the kitchen, that's a blessing. But the thing is, as soon as you think about the roof on your head, you think about it might fall or it might not be there tomorrow. And then you think about the running water, you know that the water is not running always. Sometimes there is some disturbance in the water supply. So these attainments are not blessings. Blessings come from Baba. And what Baba gives us, they are the attainments. And Baba says, these attainments can give you a sense of, that I am full. And when you arrive at that, when you remember that, so the key word is remembering them. Because you have the attainment, but do you remember it? And when you remember it, you can replicate it also. Yes, so when you remember it, you can replicate it. When you can remember it, you can feel happy about it again and again. And when you remember all your attainments, then they give you a feeling of contentment. And then this contentment gives you happiness, permanent happiness. And that happiness, in that happiness, all your sorrow and worry is merged. So all the things that you remember which gave you sorrow and worry. So if you ask me, I don't remember bitter incidents from my past. I don't remember any of them. Even if somebody reminds me, I say my memory is very faded, but yes, maybe you're right, that happened. I don't have any memory of what happened in the past that was bitter and that was bad. Because, if there is a memory, it will get triggered. It will get triggered by an incident, it will get triggered by words, and you will relive it and relive the sorrow of that bitter memory. So this is why Baba says you have to finish your old and bitter memories, the sorrow and the worry that is there in your heart, sedimented. So all of those can be removed only when you flush them out, with this influx of this gratitude that you have for whatever you receive from Baba. And this is the only way to cleanse your heart. Now, if you ask me, what is it that Baba gives? And if you have not received it yet, then just think about it, practice it in your life, and come to that sense of attainment. So the most important thing that Baba gives is, Baba makes us aware of my identity, my capacity, my powers. Yes. And I think that when I came into Gyan, the first thing that I understood was, my world is here, not there. So it doesn't matter what is happening in the world. My problem is just what I'm playing here and how I'm playing it here. And do you see that when I had not come to Gyan, I did not know that I am the creator of my world. And I have full control about my experience of life, my experience of the world. Because my experience of the world involves projection into the inner world. So what do I want to project from the outer world to the inner world? And how do I want to project it? So this is a very big attainment that I got, because the problems of the world did not become problems of my world. And another thing that is related is, it is not selfish, because when the problems of the world don't become problems of my world, only then I can solve them, because if they become my problems, I cannot solve them. So this is first thing that I attained, the power of choosing what you want in your inner world, and the power of discarding whatever you don't want in your inner world. And if you don't want happiness, you don't want sorrow, you don't want disgust, you don't want any feeling, any other uncomfortable feeling, then project better. Just change how you perceive everything, how you project everything inside. And the two key things I understood is, project not everything as bad, but as weak and depleted. And when I started incorporating it in my vision, then all my anger and all my resentment and all my complaints, and they changed into compassion, because I started understanding that everything that is that I thought was bad and troublesome is actually weak and degraded. They can't help themselves, how can they help me? So this is my biggest achievement that I received. And then I understood that, so again, that wandering of the man and buddhi. So the man and buddhi keeps wandering all the time, and it keeps picking garbage from here and there, and then it keeps, and yesterday there was this one brother and he said, Didi, I have a strange problem. So I said, what is the problem? So he said, as soon as I go to bed, my buddhi goes to some distant future, some distant past, some lost relative, and then I keep getting stuck there, and all my 2-3 hours are lost. And then by the time I sleep, it is 1:30, I don't know when. And then I'm not able to do Amrit Vela, I'm not able to do this, that. So I said, but you see, your buddhi is a nomad without any direction because you have not harnessing it. This is why, and when something is untamed, it will not behave according to you. It will behave according to its whims and fancies. And then your buddhi will start troubling you. So many people suffer from this problem. So when you are in the quiet in the night, you remember certainly something and then it starts troubling you. So Baba says, because you have not made the attempt to consciously think and consciously remember. So because all through the day your man and buddhi don't have a rein, a harness, and they are just wandering here and there like untamed animals. That is why, and in bhakti we also were very happy telling that my mind is a horse, a wild horse, and you told it's a wild horse, and it became really wild. So you have allowed your man and buddhi to be wild horses and think whatever it wants to, remember whoever they want to, and pick sorrow and unhappiness from all quarters of the world, even from the past, from the future, and then collect it inside your heart. So Baba says, I am giving you a destination. I am giving the soul an aim. I am giving the man and buddhi a destination. And that's a very big attainment. Baba says, think within the boundaries of Srimad. Think the thoughts I allow you to think. So tame your mind. Whenever your mind creates a thought which is not according to Srimad, check and change it. And this is a continuous effort. You have to make it all the time. Because if you don't make this effort, then your mind is not tamed. It doesn't have any discipline. And Baba says, tame it properly. Keep it within the boundaries of Srimad. And your buddhi, just allow it to remember Baba. So don't allow it to remember anyone from the past, anyone from the future, good, bad, ugly, nothing, just Baba. Because if your problem is not thinking about the bad, your problem is your man and buddhi are untamed. And if they are not tamed, and for taming them, you need to put them in a discipline. Put your mind in a discipline. Think only this much. Think within these boundaries. Put your buddhi in a discipline. Only remember Baba. Whenever it goes anywhere, just pull it back, bring it to Baba. Because Baba says, if you don't make this training, then what happens is, it will deceive you. Somebody who's untrained, maybe even if they are not, have you seen untrained animals at home? Sometimes they are very good, but at the times they absolutely harm and hurt without any signal. So Baba says, train them. So this is the second thing that I think Baba has given. And then, of course, I had no idea about what virtues are. So I remember that when anybody used to ask me about virtues, I only knew peace and happiness, and my dictionary was exhausted after that. But Baba gave us, this knowledge of what virtues are, and it is a magical thing because in the whole world I have never seen anybody understand virtues. So Baba says antarmukta is a virtue, stay introverted. Baba says gambhirta. Yesterday Baba was talking about maturity. Baba was talking about being sensible. Baba talks about being patient. Baba talks about being tolerant, humility. We did not know all of this. So Baba says, I give you these treasures of virtues, and I not only give you the treasure of virtues, I make you understand what it means, how these virtues look like in action, because you can see Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba as an embodiment of those virtues. So when you are able to see that, you can copy that. And this is how you get virtues, by copying them from those who have those virtues. So I did not know that generosity, I am capable of generosity also. And I remember that, when children come for the course, and I ask them, there are 3 stages, One is whatever belongs to you belongs to you, and whatever belongs to me, and whatever belongs to you also belongs to me. जो मेरा वो मेरा, जो तेरा वो भी मेरा. Okay. And then the second stage is whatever is mine, whatever is yours. I'm not exchanging it. Okay. Or I'm exchanging it equally, and I'm calculating it. And then there is the third, which is whatever is yours, I don't need anything, but whatever is mine, I'm willing to share. So when I ask them which capacity or which personality do you think you are, generally they say the second one. So whatever is yours, whatever is mine, we are not sharing, or sharing equally. But those same children, when I ask after 2 years in Gyan, they say we are the first ones, we are the Devta ones, the ones who are master bestowers, and I don't need anything from anybody. Baba has given me enough, and I am willing to share whatever I have, my time, my energy, my resources, everything for world benefit. And you see that this quality of generosity or sharing or caring, this comes from Baba. And Baba gives us so many qualities. And Baba makes us heart big. Baba gives us humility. Earlier we did not have, so we were in a state where we would steal somebody's credit and work with it. But now we are in that position where do the work and give the credit to everybody and not take it. So Baba says all of these qualities, they come from Baba. And you have to think about yourself, what are the qualities that you took from Baba? Because Baba is the ocean of virtues. Baba is giving us many virtues, not just the 7 qualities, basic qualities, but Baba is giving us so many other virtues also. And Baba says, when you take it from me, that becomes your attainment. Yes, so sweetness is one big attainment from Baba. And I remember there was this one person, he was an uncle I knew from my school days, and after coming into Gyan and after having some journey on this path, once I called him and I was talking to him, and I had not even told him that I am a BK or nothing. But he told me, "Are you going to Brahma Kumaris?" So I said, "How do you know that?" So he said, "You people all talk like this. Your way of talking, your pitch, everything is the same. So if you have heard one Brahma Kumari speaking, you can identify from a whole crowd, this is a BK." So he said, I have been in association with some BKs, and from the way you're talking, I can figure out you're a BK. So I said yes. So and I tell you, there was not even gyan there. So it was not even about what I was talking, but just the way you talk starts shifting. So Baba says that this sweetness is such a big virtue that Baba gives you. And then Baba says, of course I give you powers. You thought that you can't tolerate, and I tell you, um, I I saw there was one sister, and she came into Gyan at the age of, I think, 60, and some at the age of 67, I think, she underwent an operation, and it was a very painful procedure. So obviously the operation was under anesthesia and all, but then later on it was very painful. But then I didn't see any day she was complaining or whining about the pain. And then I asked her one day, so I said, "Is your pain okay? So are you feeling a lot of discomfort and pain?" So she said, Didi, Baba always talks about the power to tolerate, and I had usually, all my life, I had a healthy body. So up to this age also, until I was detected with this problem, I was pretty fit. So I never thought that this capacity to tolerate and all, I never thought about it. But ever since I came to Baba, I have been a good bacha. I have done what Baba says. And when this thing came up, I became aware of how much capacity to tolerate I have. And she said, even when the operation was going on, I could see myself sitting with Baba and looking at my body getting operated. I could detach from the body at that time also, and I was in an absolutely peaceful mind with the ocean of peace, giving sakash to my body getting operated. And even in the post-operative discomfort, I sit in silence, I remember Baba, and the pain is managed. And this powers that Baba gives us, it is a very real thing. But powers come from following Srimad. So the more you follow Srimad, when it is time, you will understand that you have a lot of power to accommodate, lot of power to tolerate, and that is the sign that will reveal itself at the right time. So Baba gives us so many attainments, and Baba says, if you just remembered them, and if you just revisited them, and you just allowed your heart to be full of gratitude for Baba, for those, then sorrow and worry would all merge and happiness would emerge. Okay. Om Shanti.